Welcome to April's social media updates. I appreciate many of you watching this live. If you're watching the recording, we are recording this. I will share a link to the slides in the chat after the session, where you can also access the recording. If we haven't met before, and I think from all of your comments, I've met a number of you before, so thank you for joining these sessions every month. I'm a marketer. I've worked in marketing for many years. My specialism has become social media. I feel I do have a privilege to have the opportunity to check out the updates, check the news all the time, read industry reports, so I get to share them with you all as well. If we're not connected on LinkedIn, this is what the top of my LinkedIn profile looks like, so please do have a look. Catherine, I'm sorry if it's echoey. I'm not quite sure what's happened with the headphones today. So hopefully it is okay for you to watch along too. I don't have two windows open, I'm afraid, just the one on Restream. So what we're going to start with is some industry insights, some latest research, a few pieces to share with you today. Then we will run through some platform updates. Not everything that has changed over the last month, but some of the key ones from LinkedIn, Meta, Instagram, Threads, and X. If you want to see all of the updates that have happened, I curate these on a weekly basis. I share them in my Monday morning emails, and you can also head over to my website and check them out there. Yes, I do like to organise and categorise things, and I've been doing this for over 5 years now. So if you ever want to scroll through the changes, if you've missed anything, it's all on my website under free resources. And it is event season at the moment. I'm attending numerous events, speaking at numerous events, and I have some discount codes for you at the end of this session for some that I thought would be of interest to you. So let's start with some industry insights. What have I got for you today? I've got some latest research from Ofcom, who are the regulator, the UK regulator for social media and all media channels. They have produced a new annual report about adults' use of media and attitudes towards it. X have been doing some research with Neiman Lab around posting on the platform. And just last night, Mark Zuckerberg did his quarterly update, so I've got a bit of insight from that. And just for interest, there is a new CEO at LinkedIn. So let's start with the Ofcom research. So all the links to the reports are on that previous slide, which I will share with you. Overall, as a summary, this is reported by Ofcom in their own kind of PDF download report, but also by the media. The screenshot on the right is from a Guardian article where they took some of these findings. And really what we're finding at the moment is, and you may feel this for yourselves as well, that adults are less active on social media. We are being less social. We are spending more time consuming. So it's not saying we're not on social media or using social media. We're just spending more of our time consuming content versus posting content. And one of the reasons behind that is because of the rise of video content, TikTok, Reels, even here on LinkedIn as well. It's easier for people to scroll and watch. They are posting original content for themselves less. However, we also do know from behaviour changes that engagement with social media content is also much more behind the scenes now. We don't always see as much visible comments. We do know, however, and have insights for shares and saves. So a bit of a shift here. And as I said, less active on social media in terms of posting, but it doesn't mean we're not using our smartphones. And a number of adults, a high percentage, do have concerns around the amount of time they are spending on their screens. I won't ask you all to comment on how you feel about that. There is, in terms of media use, remember this is whole of the UK, this is adults, rapid rise of AI adoption tools, both for creativity, maybe in the work, how we're using these platforms and tools for copywriting, for image creation, but also in terms of companionship, asking AI tools for advice around relationships, working situations, very much a conversational tool. Now, when it comes to news, and this is something we've talked about for many months, the role of social media as a news channel, trust in news sources is mixed and increasingly divided across adults. Some users are preferring to access their news from content creators and what we call citizen journalists, so peers, friends, family, people they follow, on YouTube versus mainstream media. So this can be both a challenge and an opportunity. How much do we trust the regular mainstream media? How are we getting our news sources? But also, are we checking and verifying those sources as well? And an interesting point that's come out of this research and also some other papers that I have been reading, younger people are better at spotting fake social media content, whether it's fake, whether it's misinformation, disinformation, than older users. So this is something very much to be aware of in terms of your personal use of social media, but maybe in the content that you're sharing as well. Are you labeling it as created with AI? Are you adding your sources if you are sharing stats and facts? Posting on X. I thought this research, which was shared on a Social Media Today article, it has come from Neyman Lab and X's own head of product. What they're saying, and the stats have supported this for a while, is that X, formerly Twitter, people are still using this platform. More than 500 million people each month are still active on the platform. And more niche topics, such as food, music, gaming, and sports, are seeing lots of discussion. It's not all political within the app. Lots of highly engaged, focused communities. And we have a summer of sport coming up. I'm sure that will increase there as well. A couple of things that I thought were interesting that I don't believe will just apply to X, but apply across other social media platforms as well, is that X's algorithm favors more descriptive posts. The quote in the article on Social Media Today says, many publications that post links are not seeing less reach because they've included links, but rather because their posting approach was outdated. Now, it does go on to explain this a little bit more, and this is very much in line with my thinking, and if you've heard me say this, old school social media posts, particularly on X, were here's the blog title, here's my press release title, go to my website and read it, please. People are not clicking to go to a website behind just seeing an article headline. We know that the platforms want to keep us on the platform. We have enough characters now on many platforms to say a little bit more. X, you might need to upgrade to their premium account to have some more characters. But really what they're saying, and I believe this has applied for a long time, not just to X, but other platforms, we don't just want headlines. We're not going to get that website traffic. However, my personal belief as well, and has been supported by inputs from LinkedIn's own senior team, if you need links, include links. If you need sign-ups to webinars, for example, or you need people to go to a website to download your latest paper, if you need the link, make it clear, make it easy, don't hide it. But at the same time, if you don't need a link to get across the information, keep people on the platform and be descriptive in the post. What they've also found as well in this research, that including the terms breaking or breaking news drives higher post engagement. Now, I wouldn't go down this route and try and be all clickbaity if your news generally isn't breaking, but it does show that X does still have that real-time news nature to it. So if you have got breaking or breaking news because you're working in PR, maybe crisis management, got some key stories, that will help your posts over on X if you're still there. In terms of that leadership news, so Mark Zuckerberg, once a quarter, he always shares their earnings report. He does a town hall. He always posts this information on his own Facebook profile and in his broadcast channel on Instagram. So I just picked out the beginning of this because most of his quarterly report was about their investments in AI and where they're going with AI tools. Yes, that is within Facebook, Instagram, the family of social media apps, but as well as Meta AI. They have said that more than 3.5 billion people use at least one of our apps every day, but they have seen a small decrease, primarily due to what's happening in Iran and Russia and the blocs over there due to world events, but otherwise trends within the apps are strong. Daily and monthly actives on Instagram and Facebook continue to grow, with video driving all-time high engagement across both apps. WhatsApp is also seeing strong momentum in the US, and Threads is also on its upward trajectory. So, as we might expect, most quarterly reports are always about growth, a lot of AI investment happening over at Meta. And at LinkedIn now have a new CEO. Ryan Roslansky has stepped up into a position that bridges both LinkedIn and Microsoft with some AI focus. So within LinkedIn, we now have Daniel Shapiro, who has been in the business for a long, long time, many years. He was Chief Operating Officer since 2021. He is now overtaking as CEO. So it's always good to share and follow the accounts of the senior people at LinkedIn because they do share behind the scenes what they're working on. So if you're not following Daniel, I would suggest going and finding his profile and giving him a follow on LinkedIn. So some platform updates. What has been happening on LinkedIn? This was previously, the first point here was previously a premium feature, but is now being rolled out, and that is AI-powered conversational search. So if we think about search on the social media platforms, LinkedIn included, we are no longer relying on hashtags in our content to get found. We are no longer following hashtags, and search behaviors are no longer just about single words. Our search behaviors are changing, see if this applies to you, to be much more conversational, much more kind of short phrases. I am looking for, can you help me find? So the search bar on LinkedIn is now adapting to that kind of search behavior. What does this mean for you? It means that you need keywords in your captions, in your content, in your articles, in your newsletters that people might use in their phrases when they are searching for who you are, what your business does, and what your content is about. Another interesting shift, a new option to sort comments by verified users. So if you see comments on LinkedIn posts at the moment, whether it's on your own or on other people's, you can currently search by most relevant and most recent. They are adding in the verified users. What sits behind this is their push towards verification. You may have seen this popped up on LinkedIn, often prompting you to verify. I will share this is your own decision as to whether to proceed with that or not. It is on personal profiles. On company pages, you will be invited to verify. You can't just go and find a button to click on it. They are rolling it out on company pages, but personal profiles, you may find prompts or you can go and search for it in settings. If you did wish to verify your account, that is through third-party organisations. They would expecting a driving licence or passport upload. Why are they doing this? To combat fake accounts. Fake accounts are appearing on LinkedIn, particularly in terms of fake recruiter accounts and some new accounts as well, some bots. And LinkedIn want to eliminate this, as do all the platforms. They don't want fake users. Why is this particularly important to them right now? Because LinkedIn is increasingly a popular source for AI citations. So they want genuine real life human users on the platform. They don't want fake bots getting involved in that activity. Verify if you wish, look into it, you will see prompts. Is it valuable for us to sort comments by verified users? I don't know, but it does represent a shift. And then in terms of advertising on LinkedIn, another development, I guess, as you can tell, I use LinkedIn Live a lot, the LinkedIn events feature. You can run ads on event features, currently those that are hosted on LinkedIn. They are extending that. So if you do host events, whether it's on other platforms or real life events, and you use the LinkedIn events feature, you will also shortly be able to run ads for those using that event page from the platform. Remember, all the links to these news articles are on my website under free resources. So if you want to find the original source, more detail, it's all there for you. Meta and Instagram. Meta, again, in terms of ads, they're adding some new options. These options are available ad space that align with what's happening in terms of trends, particularly on Reels. Not just trends in terms of latest music or content topics, but also with major events that are happening. For example, Fashion Week, Formula One, it'll be available for Black Friday. So it's new options and placements. More discovery tools to help advertisers find relevant creators to partner with for promotions. We've talked many times about the increasing role of influencers and creators and collaborations. Meta making this easy to find suitable people to work with, all within their app. You can go and search, you can follow, but there's some new in-app opportunities for finding those creators, just as you can on TikTok. And then another AI feature, of course, is around translation. You may recall from previous updates that Instagram have suggested a way to increase your reach is to add AI translations to your Reels. There are many non-native English speakers. You can translate to other languages as well. It doesn't hurt to turn this on. I don't speak any other languages, so I can't tell you how accurate those translation tools are, but they are available and a quick win opportunity to use. Now, Instagram, no ad features to talk about, but they are looking at other ways to monetize. They are currently testing, not in the UK, I think it's in Mexico and Canada at the moment, but they are testing a new premium subscription option for users. So not a premium subscription, the kind of verified for pages, but for users. And we saw an option for this in terms of opting out of ads introduced a few months ago. They are now adding other options. And this one is more about stories. It would include anonymous viewing of stories, being able to see stories for after 24 hours, and also story spotlights. So I think this is one to watch. It doesn't affect most of us right now, but is going to be interesting. I think they've set the monthly subscription of kind of between $1 and $3, so it's relatively low cost. It does show that we're likely to see more monetization options coming through in the future. A quick one, but is always useful. You only ever spot a typo once you've published something on social media. If you do a typo in comments, you can now edit them. And I haven't checked this out yet. Instagram have, in the last few days, announced a new app called Instance, which is for sharing disappearing photos. I'm not sure if that's like Be Real or why they're doing this, whether it'll integrate into other apps, whether you want to share photos that then disappear. But it's one to watch how they're monetizing stories and then adding a new app. Maybe there's something else happening behind the scenes that we're not yet overly familiar with. Couple of other ones here, Threads. Threads are introducing broadcast channels in terms of live chat. So continually growing, continually adding new features. but features that we have seen on other platforms. X are bringing back DM voice replies. Now, I hesitated. I've seen some research in the last week around use of voice messaging and do people like them or not. And there was kind of country-specific splits on people liking voice messages or not. I will let other people decide whether they like DM voice replies, but bring back DM voice replies. So X, DM voice replies, introducing topic-based custom timelines, and, a bit like Meta, a standalone chat app on iOS. We're nearly there. They were the updates for today. I wanted to finish with some event information. If you are coming along to Social Media Fest next month, which is the 19th and 20th of May, I will be there on day 2. Please do come along. If you haven't got your ticket yet, you can save £100. There is a code there for you. And today is the last day for super early bird pricing, £197 per person for our November Social Day B2B forum. If you've been before, you know what it's all about. If you haven't been, go and check the website. You can see the previous gallery, all the photos, previous speakers. We have got LinkedIn returning to share their research with us. We've got workshops, we've got other presentations and discussions in store for you. And just in case, a couple of other events that I thought might be of interest to you. B-Sides, Birmingham. If you're around on Saturday, the 16th of May, if you're interested in cybersecurity topics, let me know if you would like to come along to that event. I do have a handful of free tickets. And for those of you that work in B2B marketing, B2B's Ignite on the 1st of July. If you haven't got your ticket yet, you can save 20% on your ticket using my code. Okay, so I don't know if I froze, what bit you heard, what bit you didn't. I apologise, I've done nothing different today, got nothing popping up on my screen, but hopefully you can pick up the information from the recording, the slides. But otherwise, for today, not too many updates for you. Thank you for watching. We'll do it again in 4 weeks on the 28th of May. There's your link for registering.